Okay, in this last section, we're going to get into how it actually works. So let's hop over to that right now. With our patient concierge system, there's no more thinking about your leads until they're ready to book. There's no more training and managing staff to do the follow-up. There's no more playing phone tag, leaving voicemails, collecting info over the phone, replying to emails, or leads slipping through the cracks. It's just handled for you by our team. So here's how it works. Boost is 100% responsible for following up with your leads until they request their initial appointment. Your website team will swap out your forms, whatever forms you have on the website, and they'll just swap them in for our forms. We'll make them look nearly identical. This is a task that can take 20 minutes from your website team. Moving forward, once Boost is plugged into your site and the contact forms are actually Boost's contact forms, when a patient lead submits the form on your website, they will immediately be redirected, and right there on the thank you page, they will be introduced to their patient concierge. Again, this is a member of Boost's team, but they're representing themselves as extensions of the clinic. None of your patient leads know that Boost exists. Our patient concierge is an extension of your team. So immediately, a friendly, smiling person will greet them, welcome them, lay out clear next steps, tell them they'll be reaching out very shortly, and then immediately our system will text them. And this is actually powered by AI. And if you're skeptical of AI, we were highly skeptical of AI for a long time, and it has dramatically changed just in the past few months, let alone the past year. It is incredibly powerful, and it genuinely feels like a true conversation that you're having with a human being. It does not feel like a clunky chatbot that you might have seen in the past when you heard the word AI and you looked into it and you saw something that wasn't all that great. The new AI is incredibly powerful. Here's just a few examples. So first off, we greet the patient, and notice, by the way, this conversation is happening at 11:55 p.m., basically midnight, and we're going back and forth and having this natural conversation. Hey, Wendy, it's great to connect with you. Are you an existing patient, or are you considering becoming a new patient? That's wonderful. Welcome. I'm here to help answer any questions you might have about our procedures. Are you ready to take the next step and schedule? Here, what we do is we train our AI and our actual human patient concierge, and we train it against a knowledge base that we co-create with you. So we have seen thousands and thousands of questions that potential patients are asking our clinics, and we've studied that. We consolidated those questions, and we have a bank of about 15 to 20 questions that there's some version of that comprise 99% of questions for patient leads. So do you take my insurance? When are you open? Do I need a physician referral? Do you offer financing options? Those types of questions. We will train our AI and our human patient concierge against your knowledge base so that the answer that we serve up for when a potential patient asks a question represents exactly what you want to say to that patient lead. So for example, in this clinic, they say, if you use insurance, your out-of-pocket cost for the initial consultation is typically less than $100, right? That's training against their knowledge base. We can say whatever you want in this scenario. Here's another great example. This patient lead started speaking in Spanish, and our system is trained to immediately switch over and start speaking right back in Spanish with the exact same type of conversation, but all happening in Spanish. All of our patient concierge representatives are bilingual as well. And so if we get a patient lead on the phone and we're having a conversation, that conversation can happen in English or Spanish. During the first 2 weeks, our patient concierge system will attempt to reach out 8 times via text and email. Remember earlier, I talked about the importance of having several outreaches, especially in those first 2 weeks, via every communication channel. So we'll send emails, texts, voicemails. And if we still can't make contact, we don't give up. We will follow up with all of your leads every 90 days so no one slips through the cracks. And our outreach, of course, is permission-based. We're not reaching out to anyone who hasn't explicitly given their permission to be reached out to. And we make it completely frictionless for the person to unsubscribe if they want to. So they can click unsubscribe, reply stop to a text message, etc. Our patient concierge will answer the phone and answer the leads questions to help them request an appointment. This is not just AI. This is not just automation. You have a true human being who's an extension of your clinic who will get on the phone and help people move forward in the process. Here's what we do when a patient lead expresses interest and is ready to move forward. We get patient leads to fill out a comprehensive form that is customized to your process. So in the past, here's a good way to think about it. What information right now, assuming you get this information over the phone, what are all the questions that you ask a potential patient when you're speaking to them on the phone? What are all of those questions? And can we systematize it and put this into a form so that there's no more having to get on the phone to have that conversation with the patient? So we can get really advanced with this. We can use certain logic and required fields. So if there's certain insurances that you don't accept, we can make it so that they can't even fill out the form if they have one of those insurances, right? We can collect insurance card photo front and back. Most people fill it out on their phone. They can just snap a picture of their insurance card right there on their phone. We could collect what their preferred day of the week is for the consult. We can even make requirements such as, hey, I understand that I must watch the online seminar as part of this process, or I understand I must fill out the required new patient paperwork before I attend my consultation. We can get patients buy-in and just make that whole workflow much simpler without having to get on the phone with the patient. In addition to that, some of our clinics prefer framing it this way, where we invite the patient lead to request their preferred date and time on a ghost calendar that will customize according to when you see new patients. So let's say you see new patients on Mondays and Wednesdays from 1 to 5 p.m. We can open up the date and times on the calendar so that there's a micro commitment from a psychological standpoint that they're requesting their preferred date and time. And of course, we can customize that calendar as well and make sure that we're collecting all the information that you would typically get over the phone, making sure that it's just effortless to fill out right there on their phone. The only thing your team has to do at the end is the admin part. So number one, confirming the exact appointment time with the patient. And number two, creating the actual patient in your EMR. There's no need to really call the patient at all because you have all that information. It's as simple as from our system, texting the patient saying, yes, see you on Tuesday the 3rd at 4 p.m. You're good to go. No more phone tag, chasing leads, or having to gather info over the phone. Of course, you can see communication to all of your leads, whether it's texts, recorded phone calls, or emails. And that is the system where your staff will log in order to see all the information that we collected on that potential patient after we answered their questions, whether or not we got on the phone with them. But the only patients that we serve up to you are those who have been pre-qualified and are ready to go and have submitted all the information that you need as a clinic to get them on the calendar. Lastly, we send you a weekly report on the number of appointments booked. So if you've made it this far and this is intriguing to you, we would love to speak with you, talk about your unique situation, find out whether or not you might be a good fit, answer any of your questions, and we're looking forward to speaking with you soon.